You're now listening to the Art of Reinvention show hosted by your boy TeflonJohn, where my goal is to change the world one person at a time by provoking thought. And you're now in the right place to receive motivation, inspiration, so you can make it throughout your day, so you can make it throughout your week. And so like I said, I just want you guys to sit back and just absorb all the content. And as I always say, one love, be blessed. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy TeflonJohn coming to you courtesy of the I Am TeflonJohn brand. And today I'm here courtesy of the Art of Reinvention podcast show. And this is episode number 58, where we're going to be talking about patience. And for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is TeflonJohn. I have a brand called the I Am TeflonJohn brand. Well, I provide content coaching, where my job is to help you build your brand and take your brand on social media to the next level. And also, my job is to change the world one person at a time by provoking thought. And like I said, today's episode is just on patience. We're going to talk about patience. We're going to talk about, why patience is important, why it is important. And so we're going to start off by just saying that many times in life that, there's things that we want. There's things that we want to get, whether it be monetary things that we want to purchase, whether it be, somewhere where we want to be as far as status. And sometimes in life that is compromised for the short goal, for the short game, because we just can't wait. There's times where, I've been purchasing gear or buying, gear for my podcast, or, buying, saving up to buy a TV. And let's say, for example, I had my eyes set on this 80-inch Samsung TV, right? That would say it was $1,800. But I seen this 56-inch Samsung TV that was $500. Now, true, it may be cheaper, but there's really not what I want. So from being impatient, what I do is go ahead and settle for the 56-inch. And sometimes that's what we do. We realize that, okay, in the long run, this is where I want to be in life. This is who I want to be with. This is where I want to end up. And we don't seem to value the long-term goals, the long-term effects. We seem to settle for that short-term gratification, and many times that short-term gratification can derail us off that path to greatness. It can really derail us off that path of purpose. And many times I've seen that where, even my personal experiences where I've been, like I said, purchasing gear, and the piece of gear that I want that I really want is $1,200. I can't really wait because I want the gear right now. So let me settle for the lower model for $800. And what ends up happening, I'll buy the $800 piece of gear, use it for a while, and realize, man, I could have used those features, have to sell it or not keep it, and then have to come up with another $1,200. Well, I really could have just bought it once. And so in life, we settle for short-term gratification, and it ends up costing us a currency that we can't get back, which is time. And the crazy thing about time is most people don't value waiting. Most people don't value putting in that time to actually sit down and, work as you get what you want. Like I said, we live in a microwave generation where everybody wants instant gratification, and everything's on the, people just want stuff too fast. And through that, you don't grow during that process. It's many times where, where I wanted another job, where I worked at this last company, and you probably heard me say it before, 11 and a half years. That's 11 and a half years I had to wait until I got a new job. But guess what? During that waiting, I was growing. During that waiting, I was adding more skill under my belt. So something happens when you're being patient. You actually gain more skill, and you have to get to the point where you realize that you have to make a choice that, sometimes the process is better than the prize. I'm going to say it again. I think I heard Inky Johnson say that you got to value the process over the product, or the process over the prize. And most times we always value the product. We always value the end game so much to where if we can't get to that end game, then we'll either pick a different end game that's shorter, or we'll just abandon the whole journey. And many times you'll see people engage in these goals, like going after losing weight, going after self-development, becoming a better person, going after saving up to buy a house, big purchases. And they can't make it through the process. They just value in that end product so much that they're not putting value on their process, that it's through the process that I'm going to grow. It's through the process that I'm going to learn. It's through the process that I will become ultimately a better person than I was when I started the process. And so patience and process goes hand in hand, because there's no way that you can actually be in a position where you're waiting patiently and not grow. Like if you're going to college, sometimes it takes 4 years to get a 4-year degree, unless you want to do it quicker and go all year round. But it's that process that is designed for you to get that education and actually grow. Most people want to skip football practice and get straight to Friday and play the games, but it's that process of practice that makes you better and grow and gets you ready for the game. And so I just want to lift to anybody who's under the sound of my voice that's like, man, it'll never happen. Man, I'm tired of waiting. Continue to wait. But while you're waiting, take action. While you're waiting, improve yourself. Because the worst thing that you want to do is wait for a situation, wait for an opportunity. And when opportunity comes, it passes you because you weren't ready. You didn't take that time that you were waiting to focus on preparation. And so what I want to lift to you guys is really be patient, because there are things in my life that if I had got the opportunity earlier, if I was exposed to something earlier, it wouldn't have worked out, because I was a different person. Why? Because I hadn't gone through that process. I hadn't gone through anything to teach me or make me a better John. Had I been podcasting 5 years ago, I would have probably been talking about, something dumb or something that's not going to add value to anyone's life. But because I'm doing it now and I have all these past experiences that I can bring up and I can give to you guys and give you some sort of value to add to your life. And so what I want you guys to do is really think about, and I want you to leave in the comments, is it easy to be patient, or do you find it hard to be patient, and why? I really want you to put why, because I think when you look at social media and you look at this age in 2019, some people I think are finding it difficult to be patient due to the fact that everyone else around them seems to have everything now, and it seems like that, they're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, and people are posting these pictures of their highlight reels, and people are posting pictures of relationships, and they're like, man, I wish I could be in one, or man, I wish I had that car. And you don't know how long it took for them to get that car. You don't even know if that's their car. And so what I want you guys to really focus on is why you're waiting, because that purpose, that why, the reason that you're doing what you're doing, which is waiting, being patient, the reason that you're in that grind, and the grind could be working another part-time job. The grind could be, picking up more hours at work, but just realize why you are doing what you're doing. I want you to realize that why you are doing what you're doing, because there's a purpose. And if your purpose isn't big enough, I'm sorry, it's not going to last. If your purpose isn't big enough, like I said, it's not going to last. It's going to be hard for you to be patient. When people are doing things for their kids, that seems to be one of the number one motivations in the world, is when people are doing things for their kids. And many people go to jobs they hate, but because this job is providing for their kids, it's easier for them to be patient with people. It's easier for them to put up with attitudes. It's easier for them to go to work and work for bosses that they can't stand, because they look at that purpose as saying, wow, I got to do this for my child, or I got to do this for my kid. And so we all have to realize that we all are connected to a purpose, whether the purpose is great enough or not. We're all connected to a purpose, and it's all on us to figure out why that is. I remember when I played sports, and sports really teaches you patience. I remember being in plenty of football games where it was tied up and it seemed like we were going to lose, or, we were, down by a couple touchdowns, but it took patience to let that game plan work. It was just like taking medicine. They give you a dosage, and they give you an interval where you take that dosage, and it's not going to just wear off, or the pain's not going to wear off, or the infection, the first time you take it. But over time, if you continue, that infection or that pain should go away. And so when it comes to your goals, dreams, and visions, and that's really what we focus on here with the I Am TeflonJohn brand and, the Art of Reinvention podcast show and talk show, is really focusing on that process and really focusing on, that purpose. And when you can figure out that purpose, when you can figure out why, when your why is big enough, it's easier for you to survive adversity and whatever you're going to go through when it comes to actually trying to get there, And that's most of the problem. I think some people's purpose could be for self-gain. Some people's purpose could be for a little bit of notoriety. Some people's purpose could be for fame. But when your purpose isn't big enough and you start to go through that type of adversity, that pushback and that kickback, you tend to just put it to the side and find something else because it's not worth it. You see a lot of people saying, well, it's not worth it. When you add up the costs, what I'm saying? Is this worth it to work 20 hours and get paid $2? No, that's not worth it. And some people view that when they're looking at their goals and dreams. And so, like I said, you always want to stick through it. You always want to hang in there, because if you have enough self-belief and faith, and if that's wrapped up and you believe in yourself, then it's worth waiting, because you know that one day you're going to make it. And don't get twisted or don't get bent on a lot of stuff on social media, because there are plenty of people that I follow. There's plenty of people that have laid the blueprint for me that I've learned from YouTube, social media, or whatnot, or read books. And you'll be surprised, like, we see them being famous, but we're seeing this end result of a 10-year, 15-year grind, right? And we're getting frustrated because we haven't done it in 2 years. And so just do research on the people that you follow. It took them a minute. It took them a long time to get to the point to where they actually, made it to where they actually started to really push their business. So don't be discouraged by that. You know what I'm saying? Don't feel like they're bigger than you because they've been doing it longer. And like I said, they've committed to a course of action. They've committed to a course of action, and you have to, that's part of being patient is, I'm gonna commit to this course of action. I was watching an interview with Simon Sinek, and he was saying that it's hard to tell or pinpoint when you fell in love with your significant other. It's hard to pinpoint, well, what did they do? What day was it? It's hard to, but you can say it was a accumulation of actions that led to that emotional feeling, So when it comes to you committing to a course of action, saying, okay, I want to lose 50 pounds. Let me commit to the course of action of eating right and working out. And you may not be able to pin which workout gave you the biceps, which workout took your waist in 2 inches, but it was that course of action that you stayed on that allowed you to actually reach that point of obtaining your goals. And so what I want you to know, especially all of you creatives out there, all of you people who are creating content, continue to grind. Don't focus on the likes. Don't focus on the engagement. Continue to grind, put out good quality stuff. Always add value to someone's life, and just make sure that what you're doing, your heart's in it for the right reason. And I'm going to end this episode. I appreciate you all for listening to the I Am TeflonJohn brand and this episode number 58 of the Art of Reinvention podcast. So I appreciate it. Look, and I want you to visit my website, www.iamteflonjohn.com. That's John spelled John. I want you to go on there and subscribe to my website, because all of my content will be going to my website. And also, if you're looking to build a brand on social media and you don't know how, if you're looking to start a podcast and don't know how, and if you're looking to, build a presence on social media but need help, go to www.iamteflonjohn.com and click on the link Content Coaching and consult with me, and I can help you do the same thing that I'm doing, building a brand online, building a website, and actually recording podcast episodes. So look, have patience. Believe in the process, stay with the process, and commit to a course of action. And as I always say, one love, be blessed. We would like to thank you for listening to this episode of The Art of Reinvention by TeflonJohn. And we encourage you to share this episode across all your social media platforms. And we also encourage you to visit our website at www.imteflonjohn.com and follow us on all our social media platforms at facebook.com/realteflonjohn, twitter.com/realteflonjohn, and instagram.com/realteflonjohn. And while you're on Facebook, go ahead and like our page so you can receive first-hand notifications every time we go live with the motivational video or any motivational content. And as I always say, one love, be blessed.